Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Noor Networks. In this tutorial, we will see how you can back up the configuration of the firewall and restore as and when required. So quickly let's take the login to the firewall appliance. So I am logged into the appliance now. Over here, one thing you need to notice that till now, whenever we were getting this kind of pop-up to create the secure storage master key, we were clicking skip for now because it was not required till now. Okay, till now, whatever labs we have done, it wasn't required. But when you talk about the backup configuration at that time, this parameter may impact your configuration, and you may get, like, let's say for example, if you are creating a backup through FTP, in that case, there you might get an error saying that you need to create a secure storage master key. So, in order to avoid some unknown issues and all, for now, when you are configuring a backup, at that time you will create a secure storage master key very first. This option is being seen from the version 18 itself. Simply, you have to put the password as per the complexity requirement. Uh, we will be configuring the password and keys doesn't match. Let me retype the password and it match. Okay, so you will just check this box. I have stored the master key in the password manager in the safe place. It is basically saying you that whether you have saved this, just for the confirmation, so that you don't forget this. I remember this, so I don't need to save it anyway. I will simply click on create key. So your secure storage master key is set now. Coming to the backup and restore part, which is our topic for today. Guys, very first, quickly we will just scroll down from the left pane. Over here we will be going to backup and firmware. Click on backup and firmware over here. So in the first tab itself, in backup and restore over here, you will see there are three modes from where you can backup your configuration, right? So the first mode is local. Let's take the backup through a local mode. What you have to do is you can basically schedule a backup also over here. Okay, so it will be stored locally. Backup prefix is basically the name what you want as a prefix in your backup. Let's say we will say lab fw as a prefix for the backup. What is the frequency you need? It depends. Like for example, in your environment, if you are doing a changes on daily basis, then you will set a frequency of the backup to be daily, so that whatever changes you have done will be covered in the next backup. If the change is frequently, it's once in a week, then you can choose for weekly or a monthly. If there is very hardly like once in a month you do the changes. So let's say monthly, for example, and it will say schedule the date. Okay, so you can schedule the date like first of every date, what time, or if you say weekly, then whether on every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and at what time. If you say daily, then daily at what time. So accordingly, you can schedule. Let's say, for example, we are going for monthly, and we say that first of every month at midnight, you want the backup to be done. Encryption password is basically used that whenever there is a backup file, it won't be open unless and until you use this password which you are setting now. So we will set the password, encryption password over here, and simply you will apply. Click on OK to apply the settings. So over here, basically what you have done, you have scheduled your backup mode as local, means the backup will be stored within your firewall, and the frequency is monthly. That will be done, backup will be done on first of every month at midnight. And this password you have to remember, because whenever you will be restoring the backup, at that time you need to give this password. This is how you take the backup in the local. Second option is FTP. We have already defined the backup preference. Now you can push the backup to your FTP server. If you have a FTP server in your environment and your firewall is able to reach till that FTP server, and if you have the FTP IP username and password, then in that case you can configure the backup to be put on some storage or on FTP server. Okay, through FTP you can take the backup. So from, let's say for example, the FTP server IP is 10.1.1.50. You will give the IP address, the FTP username and password, the username and password which you have created on your FTP server. Let's say the username is id underscore admin and the password was something. The path is optional. If you want to give path, it's okay. If you don't give, FTP is capable and it will take the path automatically. Again, the frequency is there. So you can set the frequency like monthly or something. You have already set the encryption password. That one password where you have set, that will work over here also. And you can say apply. It will say apply the setting and it will be applied. So either you can backup through a local mechanism, you can backup through a FTP, and the third option is email. You can send the backup file to your email as well. So over here, what you have to do is the backup prefix was already set as lab-fw. Email address. Let's say, for example, your email address is XYZ. So whatever genuine email address is there, you have to put that email address over here. And frequency you have to set as what you did in local and FTP option. And simply you will apply the setting because encryption password will remain same, the one which you have set earlier. Click on OK to apply this setting. And if the email you entered is genuine email, then legitimate email, then in that case, the backup file will be received to your email address. So these are the three modes from which you can take the backup. Now let's say for example, you right away you want to take the backup of your appliance. So what you will do? Simply you will click on backup now. You will click on local very first and you will say backup now. Okay. So you over here you will see that the last backup taken is on Wednesday 23rd March 2022. So the thing problem is that my firewall appliance time is not set properly. That is the reason the time it is shown is wrong, or else the time is 27. So let's download this. Now it is asking you that download encrypted backup or encrypt backup with a different password before you download. We have entered an encrypted password over here. If you remember the password, you know the password, you simply use the download backup. If you want to change the password, you don't want that password which you have entered before to be there. If you want to download the backup with a new encryption password, you can do that. I will go with the download encrypted backup because I know the password which I have configured already. You will simply click on download backup. And you can see that the backup is downloaded for you over here. Moving on. So over here we have completed the backup part. Backup restore. So when this option will be useful, guys, let's say for example, you were working on your firewall for and doing some kind of changes. All of the sudden you realize that some of the changes which you did has impacted the network performance very badly. So now, even after the troubleshooting part, you was not able to get back to the normal behavior of your network, which was affected by the Sophos XG firewall. And thereafter, you realize that before my changes, everything was working perfect. So this option will come into the picture, backup restore. Let's justify this. Reissuing the backup is very simple. You will simply browse the file. Now we have taken the backup, right? We have downloaded it. So that file you will simply browse and you will upload and restore. The backup will start to work. But let's justify this. We'll go to rules and policies. So let's say now this VPN rule was a very important rule for me. Accidentally, I have deleted this. And later on, even I forgot that I have done this kind of changes. It's a human behavior, right? So let's delete this. And all of a sudden, you went into the pain area where the things went totally out of your control, but still you realize that before I did the changes everything was working fine for me, and you are totally at the dead end. At that time you will use this option. You will be going to backup and restore, and restore over here, backup and firmware tab. You will go to backup and restore the first tab, and what you are going to do is you will simply browse the file. Let me show you again. Let me take you to the rules and policies again. And before it was a VPN rule over here. Okay, just remember we have deleted that VPN rule from here. Okay. Uh, Now I will be going to backup and firmware over here. I will simply click on browse button, the backup which I have taken earlier. Okay, I will simply browse it and select that particular file. Encryption password you have to remember. I have given the encryption password. I will click on upload and restore. Now it is saying you that restoring a configuration does the following. Current configuration. We recommend that you download and save this firewall's backup. The restore configuration will delete it. Web admin console. My key was pressed. Upload and restore. Okay. To access it, use the IP address from the restored configuration. So simply click on OK to restore the configuration. Now over here it is asking you for the secure storage master key. If you remember in this beginning of the tutorial itself, we have set up this key, right? So we will give that key and you will simply click on restore, and the restoration has started. It will take some time. Till that time I will simply pause the video. So the restoration is about to complete, and over here once it is restored your firewall will reboot. So it will take some time for us to get the web console again, and you can see now after the appliance is rebooted I got a web console back. We'll log into the appliance now. So till the time it is login, guys, just there might be a question coming to some of the people mind that what if you have forgotten the master key, the master key which we have configured in the starting of our tutorial, and then while during the time of import it asked us the master key. So even if the master key is not entered, the configuration can still be imported. Okay, but the sensitive information and dependent configuration, that the configuration which is dependent on the master key, will be lost. Importing a configuration containing users and their dependent configuration will not be completed if the master key is not entered. See, you will be able to import the configuration, but some part of the configuration which has a dependency on the master key will be lost. Okay, so let's see after the import whether we can see that particular rule, VPN rule, which we deleted and thereafter we have restored the configuration. So guys, over here you can see that we deleted the VPN rule, and then we have restored the configuration from the old configuration backup, and now we can see that VPN rule is also restored. So this justifies that we have taken the backup successfully. Thereafter we have restored the backup successfully, and all those things which we have purposely deleted for the testing purpose was restored successfully. So this is all about the backup and restore in Sophos XG Firewall. And guys, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and do share with your friends. Thanks and see you in the next tutorial.